Hello everyone to my MMTs. It's 2:38 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on 10/3/2012 date. One of the things that we have been doing is constantly enjoying the great moves that Apple provides at times. And when Apple sells down to all-time lows, it tested our 50-day simple moving average, and I must give everyone extreme credit for being involved. When we hit that 50-day simple moving average on that daily chart, we have bounced. We bought down here. We've enjoyed that bounce within this reversal high of the new telephone that's released. It was time to get off board, but then it's always time to buy the dips. Apple has provided a wonderful tool for various different times of being able to be in the market and buy the pullbacks. People that were looking to chase performance decided to do that at the 50-day simple moving average because there's lots of hedge fund managers, mutual fund managers, lots of people that were not in Apple were buying the dip and putting that risk on trade based on the fact that October is generally a great month. And they started it out by dropping the stock $55 off of the highs. And we made money buying put options and shorting Apple, that's a short, down to this support level. And we made that money and we're out of that trade. But we bought at that 50-day moving average. And 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it took us 4 days to finally get down there. And I did the complete analysis with my MMTs, and we're just so happy to have bought that 50-day narrow range day at the test. Buyers came in yesterday immediately off of this bottom, including us here. And that the 10-day and the 20-day will act up here as a resistance area. However, by year end, it's easy for Apple to perform even in a lower growth environment. Imagine if we had a higher growth environment, how many phones they would be selling and how many of their products. They are at their best level in this economic environment. People are still loyal to the product and people wanted to upgrade. And what we do is we look for opportunities, and this was a great opportunity. It was time to bring the cash register, and what does that mean? Take your profits, buy put options on it, and it made its course yesterday. This is the buy what we did MMT, and I'm very happy to let you know that as this thing runs up toward the 10-day and the 20-day moving average, that will be your first resistance area. And we would look at that point in time, taking more of our profits into the 10 and 20-day simple moving average. Because that 50-day white line, that's where the buy was. And people came in and put that risk on trade because they said, well, look, I'd rather own it at 650 than 700. And once again, certain names in the markets provide great opportunities. You can join us. We can teach you more about how Apple trades and many others. And that you have the right to have great opportunities. And high frequency models that have been in the tape and this and that, they work. Today's low is 662. So he started with the gap open from yesterday's big move off of the 50-day moving average here. We hit a high of 671.86 and we closed right below that high. This first area, as I show here, the 20-day and 10-day is where that wall of resistance will be. So what used to be support becomes new resistance. But you have to know when and why to let these corrections and buy these dips, because most people have underperformed this year and they're looking for good quality to make good moves to get a yield or a capital gain in here and add to their wealth. And this is one name that provides it, and it has done it for a number of years. And yes, there's going to be volatility at times, and yes, there are going to be times that you have to sell short for pullbacks. We've done it before for $100 on this name. And I just want people to know that back over here when we sold short. Those were different peaks, but we came back and we made higher highs from the dips, as we've always said it will and does. So, once again, I will tell people that this is the name to buy on the dips, that you got the support levels, and you've got the institutional money wanting to be an owner, meaning that the distribution and the controversy over the iPhone and pulling from 705 in a matter of 1 day with the gap down, 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5, 6, and it was the seventh actual trading day that we said up here we're going to test that 50-day. So we made lots of money in this directional movement with our MMTs, which enjoyed it. But then the upside, buying that dip and selling into resistance is what counts. And using the options, look at the $650 call. They're up to $22.45, up another $7.75. These were very, very cheap at that 50-day simple moving average. These contracts have moved well over 100% in gain, and I'm just using that. Now, another one was a 655 call here on Apple, where these today it's $6 move, but yesterday they were really cheap. So these huge gains, using it at the right time, the call options at the right time, you can participate, make these 100% gains, because it's true. And not only that, when this contract got on sale, the 660 call yesterday, it was down to like $3.80. Look at the high today, up 541, but from yesterday's bottom, it gave us a great opportunity. So let's say you bought 10 contracts at $4. That's $4,000 investment. And if you sell up here, but I think they're going to go higher. So if you sell at $17, you're making a lot of money. So you buy for $4,000 on 10. If you sell them at $17, that's $17,000 minus the $4,000 you purchase. You end up with $13,000 in a very nice trade using the call strategy. And once again, here's the daily chart. Thing I like about it is that in the short term yesterday at the bottom, it got to an oversold condition on the daily, as it did, and then that buyer was there. And the people that stayed short longer than they should have, short means to go down in value, they never know exactly when to come out, because when you get a great move like this to the downside, some people get attached to it. We don't. That's where the buy was. We're out of the short. We've been long since yesterday and today. And once again, that's the daily chart. Here is the Apple. Here is the 650 call that's making big money. Here is that 655 call. 10-5 weekly, they expire Friday, so naturally they're going to be cashed in because of the shorter expiration is on Friday. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Once again, how to trade Apple, when to buy the dips, when to get those bigger moves, learn when to do it and when not to be in it. There are times to be in it and there are times not to be in it. And if you're just not a short seller and don't know how to do that, well, then you're only buying long. You got to be picky on getting the greater deals. Once again, it's a major update on Apple Computer and why you have every reason to learn to trade it.